I have to say it's rather difficult to privatise something if you end up with one seat in the lower house and you've got one seat in the upper house. I mean, extraordinary pull that you would seem to have if you could do such a thing. I did think it was funny though today. Our reporter in Victoria, Georgie Dickerson, was out on the ground at one of the pre-polls, and she went and spoke to the Liberal candidate, and she asked the Liberal candidate what he made of the potential rise of One Nation. Take a look at this.
Are you concerned about One Nation taking out this spot ahead of you?
I think what it shows is people are incredibly frustrated with the Labor government. They've been in power for 12 years. They had a member here, last term. We didn't see any love from the Labor government in Nepean. So we really need to show people that it's about getting rid of the government and getting a Jess Wilson-led government going into November. People are mad. But the best thing they can do is put one next to Anthony Marsh so we get a Liberal government and see the back of Labor in November.
There you go, Pauline. The Liberals say that One Nation is rising because people are angry with the Allan government. It's got nothing to do with dissatisfaction with the Liberals.
No, it's not, and it's about time because the people are screaming out for change. They want to get rid of the Jacinta Allan government and it's destroyed the whole state. So yes, they do. So the Liberals have to realise, start working with.
What's your take on this debate? Share your opinion in the comments below and join the conversation. Do you agree or disagree with the arguments made?
Thus, I know the competition is between One Nation and the Liberal Party in winning that seat, but, they've got to start working with One Nation and don't do your gutter politics and don't do misrepresentation of policies, what we want to do, or just be upfront and honest with the people, which I've always been.
Well, obviously they're not not One Nation. The Liberals are not preferencing you, One Nation, at this by-election, but have there been any discussions between you and the Liberal Party about what might happen at the election in November from that perspective?
No, Caleb, I haven't even spoken to Jess Wilson. I've never even met her, so I don't know. She did indicate that they wouldn't be preferencing One Nation. Anyway, we'll see what happens closer to the time, and then if we get enough seats that we can actually work with the Libs to give them government and kick out the Labor Greens government down there, then so be it. And that's my aim, is to get rid of that Labor government that has done so much damage to the state, and that's what the people want. The people want change. They've been hammered into the ground. They want to leave the state. A lot of them can't. They have businesses and family living down there. And you've got escalating crime. You don't have enough police. You've got police stations that have shut. No policing to do it. Then you've got escalating land taxes. The farmers are getting invaded on their properties, put up transmission lines. And then you've got the state that's in a debt for $190 billion. It's really a real problem in Victoria.
Just want to talk quickly about Farrer, which of course will be next Saturday. So if you pick one up tomorrow, you'll be hoping to pick up another one federally next weekend, which would be the first seat that you've actually won in the lower house. Of course, you've got Barnaby Joyce, but he was a defection from the Nationals. Everything would seem to indicate
Correct.
at the moment that this is heading in your direction.
Caleb, we've still got another week of pre-polling. The election's not till the 9th of May.
What's your take on this debate? Share your opinion in the comments below and join the conversation. Do you agree or disagree with the arguments made?
Count my chickens before they hatch. A lot can happen in a week. But people have warmed to David Farley. I think he's really representing the electorate, especially on the water issue. And we've called for a Royal Commission into the water issue. There's so much money that's been poured into it, the buyback scheme of $13 billion. You've got farmers that can't get water. You've got the environmental issue. That's a big problem down there as well. So it's a big farming area. And of course, Albury needs the hospital system as well. So it needs the hospital attended to and eventually possibly a new hospital. So these are important issues in the electorate, and that's what we're going to be looking at, focused on. And with David winning the seat, he can work with Barnaby in the lower house.
Indeed. Well, we'll be watching out for what happens tomorrow night. I'll be in Melbourne tomorrow night, so I'll be keeping a close eye on it. And we'll see what happens next week as well. Pauline Hanson, thank you for your time as always.
This is where the conversation completely shifts, because what you just heard from Pauline Hanson isn't just frustration, it's a political signal, a very clear one. Because for the first time in this exchange, she's not just criticizing the Jacinta Allan government, she's openly calling for cooperation with the Liberals to take them down. And that matters because up until now, the tension between One Nation and the Liberal Party has been part of the problem, not the solution. But listen closely to what actually happened here. She admits she hasn't even spoken to the Liberal candidate, never met her, no discussions, no agreements, nothing. And yet, in the same breath, she's talking about working together to form government, That's not strategy. That's pressure, public pressure. Because what Hanson is really doing here is putting the Liberals in a corner. She's telling voters, if change doesn't happen, it's not because people didn't want it, it's because the opposition couldn't get its act together. And then she builds the case. Crime rising, police shortages, farmers under pressure, land taxes climbing, a state drowning in debt. This isn't random. This is a calculated pileup of issues designed to create one narrative. The system is broken and the current government has to go. But here's the part that stands out. She doesn't spend much time defending one nation's strength. Instead, she focuses almost entirely on voter anger. That tells you everything about the strategy. This isn't about dominance. It's about tapping into frustration and turning it into leverage. And when she says, the people are screaming out for change, she's not just describing the mood, she's trying to own it. Now connect that to the earlier exchange. The Liberal candidate is saying one nation's rise is because people are angry at labor, not because they believe in one nation. Hanson flips that instantly. She agrees with the anger, but then redirects the solution back toward cooperation. That's the pivot, from competition to coalition. And it's happening in real time. But there's a problem. Because while she's calling for unity publicly, the reality behind the scenes is the exact opposite. No preference deals, no communication, no coordination. So the question becomes, is this a genuine path to forming government or just political positioning ahead of November? And that's where this gets interesting. Because if both sides keep splitting votes while claiming to represent the same frustrated base, the only side that benefits is the one already in power. So this isn't just about what Hanson said. It's about what hasn't happened yet. No deal, no alignment, no clear plan, just a warning shot. Drop a comment and tell me honestly, do you think the Liberals will actually work with one nation to take down labor, or is this just another political bluff before the election?